Welcome to Jets This Week. I'm Gary Lawless of the Winnipeg Free Press and my colleague Ed Tate. Just imagine, Ed, I know we're getting near the end of the fourth season, but tonight's game, the Winnipeg Jets are hosting the New York Rangers, and there is a National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoff spot in the offing. Sometimes we forget, not too long ago, this was not a possibility at all. And, the Jets have done quite a bit of work to get themselves into this position. They have 90 points. They have 6 games to go. The math is really unattainable still. I think they need 96. Andrew Ladd said yesterday they need 100 points. That would mean winning 5 of their last 6 games to get to that point. So, really, I think it's fascinating that the Jets and Winnipeg are in this position. And what happens next? Well, that's obviously even more fascinating.
Yeah, so this is why we were so excited when the NHL came back, right? It's for nights like this and weeks like this and the stretch run like this. In the last few years, the Jets have been kind of hovering around or below the line and, needed to win out or at this stage of the season just to get into the playoffs. But now here we are. If they go 500, they get 96 points, which we thought was enough. Maybe it's not, but they're definitely in a position here. Every morning they wake up and they're above the line is a good morning for this franchise. And here we are, stretch run, original 6 coming in, like you said, with the Rangers. Vancouver's here on the weekend, road trip, and then that Calgary game that everybody's pointing to wrap up the season here in Winnipeg. It's fun. This is why we were so excited when the NHL came back.
Let's talk a little bit about the team on the ice. Ondrej Pavelec has been real strong. I don't think he was out of his mind or anything like that in the loss to Chicago, but I also don't think you would pin the loss on him.
They gave up 4 goals the other night. Couple really amazing tips by the Blackhawks. A breakaway goal by Patrick Sharp on that weird play with the linesman getting tied up with Toby Enstrom. We'll find out after practice here about Bryan Little. It sure sounds like he's going to be in tonight. And man, we've already seen the impact of Dustin Byfuglien coming back, and Matthew Perreault only played about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes the other night, but I thought he was really good. So they're easing guys back in. Bryan Little for the stretch run here, your number 1 center. It really can change the way that you put together your lines, your top 3 lines. And just having a guy like that back is monumental for a team in the stretch run.
Well, and for me, the big thing to watch tonight, when Kevin Sheldayoff made some of his switches, obviously the Myers and Stafford acquisitions, they were top-end acquisitions. Myers has been in their top pairing since he got here, and Stafford has been in the top six since he got here. But the addition of Tulowitzki and Stempniak, this is what they were here for. They're here to flesh out the bottom 6. So with the return of Perreault in the last game and now the return of Little tonight, those guys, I think Perreault will move back up into the top 6 tonight, or the top 9 for sure. And obviously Little goes right up into the top 3, I think, and Adam Lowry will go down to into your third line at center. So now all of a sudden you're going to see the Jets having a third line centered by Adam Lowry, and with the combination of Perreault, Stempniak, Tulowitzki on the wings, and then a fourth line with Slater in the middle and Thorburn and a Matt Halischuk, or something of that nature. That's what we're going to see now, and that's a much deeper team, especially in the bottom 6, than we've seen ever since the Winnipeg Jets returned to Winnipeg.
Well, absolutely. I think you make a real good point here, Gary. Tulowitzki and Stempniak were never seen as top 6 guys with this team, but they were getting a lot of ice time. This team was thin when they were banged up front without Perreault and Little. But having those guys now, when you're healthy, all of a sudden that third line, Adam Lowry goes from doing a real nice job on the first line with Ladd and Frolik back to the third line. You've got the decision to make about where you put Perreault. Does he slide back in with Scheifele? Does he stay with Lowry? But Stempniak and Tulowitzki have given that third line a lot more depth. And this is something that you talked about an awful lot during the season. We've talked about it. Their bottom 2 lines needed some help. And those acquisitions, while not the big blockbuster that Myers and Stafford were, have really given this team depth.
Well, one of the big complaints I've had for this team for a long time was the fourth line. And Paul Maurice did too. He didn't say it, but his actions said that, because they only played 2-3 minutes a night on many occasions. And I've been hard on Slater and Thorburn at times, but their ice time has increased since those trades. They've played with better players, and they've been better as well. For an extended period of time, those 2 guys have been pretty good for the Jets. So to recap here, You know, the Jets are in the playoffs as we stand here right now. They have 6 games to go. They are getting healthy. To me, there are no excuses. It's time for the Winnipeg Jets to put their best foot forward, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. And another guy we shouldn't forget, Ben Sherratt's close to coming back too. And before he got hurt, he was paired with Dustin Byfuglien. So a lot of stars kind of aligning right now for the Winnipeg Jets. Bottom line is they got to take care of business out here, though, beginning tonight against the Rangers if they're going to be playing in the playoffs.
He's Ed Tate. I'm Gary Lawless. This is Jets This Week.